A good night of Shabbos, Parshas Toldos. This week we are talking about the children, Toldos, the kids. So we know that when we have a moment of a yichud, a moment of connection, that is when we have an intimate moment. Now, that works on every level. There can be an intimate moment between husband and wife, and as a result of that, a child is born. That is in Olam Asiyah. There's also a child that is, the same child exists in other realms and other consciousness. The neshama is there. But in order to bring it into this world, into this Olam Asiyah, there has to be a physical action. And then we have emotions, feelings that makes, when we connect emotionally, when we're feeling doing a chesed or davening, learning Torah, as well as getting upset, so on and so forth. We're making an emotional yichud from the attributes, from the heart. That's the mitzira. And every thought connects with something. You can delete that by saying that I'm done with that. That's how it gets deleted, and that's called tshuva, going back home, because once we create something, that thing that we created draws from the person. You are the generator for that thought, so by keeping it alive, it stays connected, and sometimes we forget about it and it's still connected. And that is draining energetically, that drains. By doing tshuva, which means that we're going back to the depth of the heart, going back to Tashav Ka, going back to Yud K, bringing the Yud into the K, into the Hey. With that disconnects that flow, and the draining stops, and you can start inflating again. All the distracting thoughts that one encounters during the day, these are all thoughts that were created, and they keep coming back. And so that is in Olam Mitzira. I want to say something else, but it skipped. If it comes back, we'll come back to it. Olam and Bria is the world of Torah. That's Bria, it's Neshama. And when we learn Torah, we connect. And as the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, and all the Sfarim is brought down, the many Sfarim that we have, and as Chayvus, to be mechaber stuff. Your thoughts, your ideas, and once it's purified and healthy, which means not having judgments on self, only positive judgments, then that that creates a higher level of vibration in the Shama. And then there's Atzilus, which is going into oneness. That's more like Chaya, Adam Erishan, and then there is Yechida, which is above that. That's the Mashiach. So, in this week's parsha starts with Elu Tolos Yitzchak ben Avram. Yitzchak. These are the children of Yitzchak, the son of Avram. Avram gave birth to Yitzchak. So it's a famous question. What do you mean? These are the children of Yitzchak, and then you tell me, instead of telling me Yaakov and Esav, you tell me that it's that Avram was his father, and Avram gave birth to him. So it's brought down. It's brought down in Chassidus that Avram, Yitzchak wasn't able to have kids, because he was a Karban Oile. He completely surrendered. He was Mavatal himself, because that's where he came from. He went back to his moment of inception, so to speak, on the highest level. I wanted to go back to the Yechidim. So too, we're making Yechidim on every level. We'll come back to this in a second. We're making Yechidim on every level. Olam Asiyah, there's a physical encounter, physical Yichud, an intimate moment. Then I have an intimate moment with the emotions, and then we can have an intimate moment with our neshama level, and then in Chaya. And then we're going into Yechida, to oneness. So these are all the children. These are all our children. That's what's going on. And Yeah, we'll go back to Malchus on the way down. So Yitzchak wasn't supposed to, wasn't he went back to he wasn't supposed to have kids. He was a Karb Mo'ela. He went into complete bittul, which means that he's from a place of Gevura. Avram's way of expression was Chesed, which it comes from top down. I give. Gevura is I'm saying no all the way, no, 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 until the point of I keep surrendering. But if I say no to step one, there's pain. Step five, there is more pain. I have to let go of something that's even more closer and more personal to my essence, to my yeshus, to my existence. And we're letting go from there too. But not everybody is able to do that, because if you are connected to the mazalas, if we're connected to teva, to a chain of events, there is at some point, this is where the keli maxes out, and this is where I belong. I have no bechira. I'm stuck in the same place. It's a fixed loan. It's a fixed rate loan, not a jumbo loan. It stays put. So the person can't. So when I have to surrender to that, then the person breaks down. There's only so much one can give up from his physical. If you go to a goy that doesn't have that level of depends which one. Some could reach that, says the Rebbe Rashab, the level of oneness. So if I don't have, if at some point, if that is my existence, the same concept as when before the Torah, the Rebbe asked, they said, what's in the Torah? You're not allowed to steal, I'm not allowed to kill. And they didn't accept. What did that look like? Energetically, that was their core, that was their existence. So that's their etzem. So if I give that up, then I may as well just or die or cease to exist. That's where he expires. It's done. So he has to hold in place to keep this malchus going, this level going. So, but if you're not connected to the mazalas, to the teva, then and we can go higher, a level of surrender to a complete place of full surrender. For instance, 6 million were killed, and they were able to get up from there and restart again. With all the pogroms and all the gullahs that we went through and all the pain and the shchitas and all that, but yet we are able to survive. How? I mean, forget about, let's just, how does the technology work? How does it work? How are we able to keep coming back? Because if that item was my atzmus, my house, or whatever their experience, God forbid, with the children and all that, being separated and all that, if that was their level, they couldn't let go, then we wouldn't be able to get up. They wouldn't be able to start again. But the fact that they were able to go, the fact they're able to get up means that they're coming from a place that is higher from the mazalas. It's higher from teva. It's higher from teva, but yet, since we are in teva, we have to live in the world to bring the light in here. So then we can see that even teva is also higher than teva. Everything is energy, everything is letters, everything is moving. So if everything is energy and it's not chomer levenim, stuck in stone, set in stone, then anything is possible. You can't remove a whole 100-story building. But if it's only a 100-story building in reference to self, which is this huge problem that I'm encountering and I can't go forward with it, I can't remove it, it's not possible. It makes no sense. How do I get out of this? But understanding that it's just an energy, it's a vibration, and a vibration we can change. How do we change vibration? Like finding the hostage in you and shifting it. Where within you is there a place that needs a deeper cleaning to shift that vibration? And that is Avram. Ve'ela told us Yitzchak, Ben Avram. Yitzchak wasn't supposed to have kids because he was a complete, he sacrificed himself as a Karm. Avram, Alpi Mazalas, wasn't supposed to have kids, him or Sarah Aminu. But the Eibishter told him, go out from your Mazalas, rise above, go to the Avram, go to the Chachma. And from that place, he was able to, I told him, you're above Teva, which means that you're connected straight to the Ayin, something from nothing. And if you're something from nothing, then anything we can see from a place of ayin, from full surrender, because we have that power, that koyach, that blik, to see the vulnerability of the situation, the vibration of the situation, because we can tap into the ayin. Now, so Yitzchak went into, so from that place, he rose above his mazel, and he was able to give birth to Yitzchak. So he drew down that koyach ha'ayin into the kav, into Avram. From there, Avram Hoyled as Yitzchak is because Yitzchak wasn't supposed to have kids, or wasn't even supposed to be here. I wasn't supposed to have kids. I think that's what I saw, because he gave away his neshama. The neshama creates. But Avram gave him that vibration of the koyach ha'ayin into Yitzchak, so he birthed Yitzchak, because technically speaking, Sarah birthed Yitzchak. And I think that's what it says also, that Sarah had a child in the previous parsha. Don't quote me on it. And over here it says that Avram hoiled as Yitzchak. So he gave him the neshama. And from there, Yitzchak gave birth to Yaakov and Esav and Yaakov. Apparently, it looks like that in Olam Asiyah, the way we meet Ayin, the way Yaakov is able to tap into his Yisrael, is only when we have the koyach ha'ayin of Esav on the other side of that. Which means that Yitzchak's, Avram's ayin was on a higher level. It wasn't involved, it was before the Torah. Yitzchak's avodah, his bittul, was also, he was in a place of ayin. He was a carbon oil. He went up to Gan Eden. He lived in Gan Eden for 3 years before he met Rivka. And Yaakov's koyach ha'ayin, that was mamshech from Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov, directly from Eibishter, with no other channels, just from the koyach ha'ayin, higher than the mazalas, ayin or yechida, whatever you want to call it, whatever that is at the moment to you. He was mamshech that to Yaakov, this koyach ha'ayin, to Yaakov Avinu. So we're able to be in the Ekev, we're able to be in the Olam Asiyah, and go into the ayin, go into that thing that is above Seder Shtalshalos, go into the thing that is above what's possible. And Ve'ela Toldos Yitzchak. And these are the children of Yitzchak. This teaching, this vibration, this learning, this limud, this is the Toldos from Yitzchak, because everything is a yichud. So what the yichud looks like in Olam Habriya, in the neshama, in the world of Torah, is Hoyled as Yitzchak is to give, to channel and to tap into, to align yourself with the koyach ha'ayin directly up from Yaakov, Yitzchak, Avram, straight to Eibishter. So Esav is that what that other side looks like, in order to bring out the ultimate koyach ha'ayin from within each and every one of us. And Kebi Yitzchak Yikol Chazara, Tzchoik Asal Elikim, and what's the word over there? La'asad Lavei is going to be Yitzchak beginning. It's all about Yitzchak. It's all about the koyach habitul, the koyach ha'ayin, to be able to laugh it off. As you laugh it off, you dust yourself off from whatever is holding on. So that is the Helada, and everything that we do at the end of the day. So there's the Olam HaMachshava, there's the Olam HaDibur. But at the end of the day, Malchus is a fabric. It's a fabric that holds all the osiyos, all the letters, everything that we speak, everything that we think. But ultimately, what we speak, Malchus, that is like, imagine you speak and the words come out and it just catches onto this sticky fabric. So all these letters are there on Malchus. So whatever we put out emotionally and verbally, whatever we put out, that works with Malchus, that switches it around. So speaking positive, speaking positive, keep, moving the letters around into a positive flow. So that's what will be looking back at you. And also to remember that, yes, let's go back to Yaakov and Esav, we'll stick to that. So Yaakov and Esav is what? Esav is all the way down, it's Toyu, Shvira. Yaakov is Olam HaTikun, which is, he's looking from above, because ultimately, ultimately we are Olam HaNeshama, we're, it's a higher consciousness, it's like Shema that goes to the top. But we had to come into, but Esav was supposed to finish the job, Esav was supposed to get the brachas, to finish the job in Olam HaSiyah, so we can stay in Olam HaTorah. But the Rivka came in and realized, she felt that if we rely on Esav to support his brother Yaakov, then it's not going to look too pretty. So we got the brachas. He took away the brachas from Esav. He spinned it around. He thought it was Esav, and it was Yaakov. So this is how we need to work. You need to work. Look at the problems and look at the trickery of it, and just ba'arma, trick your way out of it by going into the koyach ha'ayin, going into the koyach of where everything is possible, because we're above Teva. Coming from a koyach, a vibration of Avram, wasn't supposed to have kids, and Yitzchak, and that was coming down. That's what we're dealing with. So to see it from above, from a place of understanding, looking into Malchus, and by being positive projection and positive speech, that will change the Esav into Tikkun, Olam HaTikun. Have an awesome Shabbos.